Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of WSO, Something Wonderful in Washington County. My name's Monica Merrell. I'm one of your neighbors here in Peters Township. You may have watched the program when we reintroduced the Washington Symphony and talked about the holiday concerts performed in early December. But during this program, we'll talk about the next concerts coming up in March and May, and also share some important information about ways that the WSO partners with and promotes young musicians. My guests today are Dr. Yugo Ikach and Adam Shaffer, making a repeat appearance. Dr. Ikach is the artistic director and principal conductor for the WSO and has a long title, Professor and Dean of School of Graduate Studies and Research at Cal U. Welcome, Dr. Ikach. And Adam Shaffer here is our general manager of the WSO. He is responsible for daily operations, coordinating concert performances, and everything else to keep the WSO running. So since we filmed the holiday program, there have been some changes to the plans the Washington Symphony had in place for the next two concerts. So let's start with you, Adam. Tell us about the changes for the March concert.
Well, with the pandemic still ongoing, we had to change venue again, and this time we're going to be at the Olin Fine Arts Center on the Washington Jefferson College campus. That's easily accessible from 285 East Wheeling Street, right in Washington. So it's less than a mile from our regular venue, so it's easy to find. And theater's a little bit smaller there, smaller than the fairgrounds, smaller than Trinity. So we're going to do two performances. That's the first time we've ever done that for a non-holiday concert. So we're going to do Saturday, March 5th, and Sunday, March 6th.
So the Saturday's an evening performance?
Yes, that starts at 8 p.m. And the Sunday is a matinee afternoon performance, which starts at 3 p.m. So two different options there. Some people like the dinner and a show, date night kind of feel, and some people, maybe want to avoid the dark when they're driving and take the family, small children, and they come on Sunday. So I have two different options there. It makes it pretty nice.
Good. That sounds good. Now, since we filmed the holiday concert, there's been the musicians were able to finally perform in public. So Yugo, how did the orchestra react to seeing people out there again?
Oh my, it was wonderful. I think it's like revisiting an old friendship that you forgot how much you've missed it. I saw so many smiles, not only with the orchestra members, but the concert goers and the camaraderie on stage. It just was electrifying. Immediately you can see why we all do this. We thought, wow, this is wonderful. This is why we do this.
Right. The solution during the pandemic were videos online for the symphony. You could go on the website and actually view those. But those are still up. But the live concerts, you can't compare. So.
No, you can't. And I know we're filming this on Valentine's Day, although people are not seeing it on Valentine's Day. But it's like having a Valentine's Day date virtually. It just is not the same, right? It's much better in person.
Absolutely. So this coming concert in March is called WSO Rocks. Now, rock music is not what people normally think of when they think of an orchestra. So it's a little bit of a departure. Can you tell us the thoughts behind that?
Sure. Well, there is some rock music that incorporates an orchestra. So we think of maybe, if you go back to the 1970s, like the Moody Blues, and we will be performing a little bit of Moody Blues, but we're taking a little Freddie Mercury and we're making it work with the orchestra, and we're actually playing Queen, Queen, and the Doors. We're going to have a little music of Jim Morrison. You wouldn't normally think of that, but I'm especially excited about one medley we're doing. It's probably 14 minutes long, which is a longer piece than what we normally do, but it's filled with wonderful variety, and there will be a lot of singing along silently from the audience, I think. We're doing a Chicago medley.
Nice.
So that really features the brass players, especially in the orchestra, and we are going to have a number of young people singing with us. So I have the choir of California University of Pennsylvania singing with us, and we have a couple of local choirs as well that are young at heart, we'll call the Washington Festival Chorale and the Immaculate Conception or St. James Parish Choir now. So we'll be doing numbers of Chicago, and we did a concert similar to this I think it was about 6 years ago, and it was such a success.
We Will Rock You.
Well, that's one of the things I wondered. This is sort of a repeat of a theme. So tell us a little bit about what happened at that concert. I think we'll be having some music with that.
Right, right. Well, there's a couple pieces that we're going to bring back from that concert for anyone who may have missed it the first time. Most of the repertoire is all new for this concert, but the idea was why not? Why not have rock music with an orchestra? And the culmination was a really neat project. We had a Battle of the Bands competition. And the winners of the Battle of the Bands was to have their music orchestrated, and they would be playing out front, and the orchestra would be backing them up. And that was a great success. We had a group, the Vicks won, and they are still alive and kicking and vicking, I suppose, the Vicks. So,
oh yeah, they've been featured on. I've even heard them on the radio since then. Their performance with us was one of their first live performances in front of an audience so big, and we've just watched them grow over the past 7 years now. So that's been pretty exciting.
Well, that's good. So Yugo, that concert, tell us a few of the things that you played. I think we have some music clips.
We do have some music clips, so we can go to that now. We did a orchestra remake of the Joe Cocker version of the Beatles originally, with a little help from my friends, and then we had a little Queen, "We Will Rock You." So we got the orchestra stomping and clapping, and the audience stomping and clapping, and we did another Queen piece. We're not doing at this concert, but we did do Bohemian Rhapsody with choir. That was really neat. So if you want to go to the clips, that'd be wonderful.
So let's listen for a little bit about what they played at the prior concert.
Talking about the WSO and WSO. I'll see you Christmas time in the ho ho ho. Someone to love. All I need is someone. Not just where I'm going. Somebody yeah, baby. Speaking for the WSO. Maybe I'm just talking to that guy in the second row. Or maybe I'm talking to Yo.
So those were some examples of what they played at the prior Rocks concert, what you might be able to look forward to at this concert. But Adam, you also have a special guest coming. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with that.
Well, it's his first time performing with us. He's a local guy, but he had some national exposure way back when on American Idol. Actually, he was one of the top 24 contestants there back in, I believe it was 2012. And Mr. Adam Brock will be joining us to sing that Chicago medley that Yugo talked about. So we're pretty excited about that because it's a local talent, yet somebody that's been on the national stage. So that's really exciting.
Well, that sounds good. And then prior to the concert, you also have some ideas about some other things related to rock. So tell us about that.
Well, we this is your symphony orchestra, so we want everyone in Washington County to get involved. And we have social media channels. We're going to have a TV set up in the lobby, so we want to try to collect everyone's photos and stories of how rock music has touched their lives. there's been many significant rock performances in Washington County. I've even started to look some of those up. The Kinks were at Washington Jefferson College campus in 1972. You know, James Taylor passed through there, and then you know, Cal U. We've had many people there, from Frank Zappa to Bob Dylan, have performed on the Cal U campus. So if anyone has pictures of any of those performances or anything like that, or even a
Posters,
story,
things like that?
yeah, just it's something personal. You know, it could be you in a concert T-shirt. It could be you know, just a story. You and your friends went to one of these shows. You know, just how has rock music been a part of your life? And we really want to share those personal stories and photos leading up to the concert and through the concert, because I think it'll be a lot of fun to see how people have enjoyed that music and give it kind of a local flavor, because that's what we do. You know, we're here for the people of Washington County and beyond, and we always want people to participate in some way with our concerts, and we just thought this was a fun way to get people involved.
Well, it's another way that the WSO is a little bit more than just a concert. It's more of a production, a show. Now, one of the things I wanted to bring around, the Battle of the Bands and your quest for rock music memorabilia are examples of how the WSO thinks outside the box. Now, another partnership I wanted to talk about, and it's really, really important to the young musicians and vocalists out there, the opportunities the WSO provides for young musicians and vocalists. So Adam, we do something called the Side by Side as one example. Tell us a little bit about that program.
Well, the Side by Side program is for high school students, grades 9 through 12, and they come starting the first rehearsal, and they sit in with our regular musicians, and they learn the repertoire. You know, they're playing the same music. They have, you know, a group of mentors. You know, for example, you know, some of our woodwinds went into a sectional and, you know, just had a great time with some of our more seasoned players. So it kind of bridges the generation gap, gets the young people seeing what they can do with their music, gives them some encouragement, and it challenges them too, because, you know, some of them haven't played music of this caliber before, but a lot of them, you know, learn they can handle it once they're in the room. And it's just a great experience. And, you know, they play all the way through the performance. They're sitting up there on stage the entire time playing alongside our regular musicians. And it's just a really great program we've been doing for well over 10 years. And every year have students from different schools. And, you know, some of them, you know, they like it so much they stay on. You know, we have a Peters Township student right now that started in the Side by Side program that's been there for several years. And, you know, we have Trinity students from all over Washington County who begin playing with us and then just stay on as regular volunteers.
Well, it's a great opportunity for kids to play not only with obviously they play in school with their student peers, but then to play with a mature audience. Now, is that option closed? Because these side-by-sides will be playing at the WSO Rocks concert, correct?
Well, they will be, but, you know, particularly we always have a need for string players. So high school string players interested in playing, you know, they should just contact us, go to our website, find the contact information, or just email info@washsym.org, WASHSYM.org. And yeah, you know, we've had high school string players join us. You know, the other instrument's a little bit difficult because there's not as much need for them on stage. So we usually just open up the other sections to the side-by-side program. But, you know, string players, we can always bring them in and use their help. So yeah, the next concert cycle in May, it will begin near the end of March. So we could definitely take any high school string players under our wing and rehearse them for the May concert.
But I wouldn't discourage a young musician who might be interested to check out the website and maybe even reach out to us. Even if it didn't become long-term, it might be a nice way to begin to cultivate relationships.
Even the other sections, we could maybe, you know, Yugo can talk to them and we'll find an opportunity for them.
Absolutely.
Sure.
The one thing I think this conversation's missing, though, is we have fun. We have so much fun. And I think that's why the student players, once they play with us, well, they realize that they can have a lot of fun doing this. And they're playing all original or legitimately written or composed music, not a watered down version or a version made for high school orchestra or band. It is the, if it's a Berlioz piece or Franz Liszt, we're playing that actual piece that they wrote. So it's going to challenge the student players a little bit because it is a little more difficult. But I think the challenge is part of the excitement. And then if you have fun while you do it, then
Sure.
you want to come back. So these students you mentioned that come back and they keep playing with us, it's because it's fun.
Sure.
It really is. It's a gas to be up there.
I can imagine, because everybody down there is usually smiling and they're having a good time, even if you are a taskmaster when you for
Well,
rehearsals.
honestly, if I didn't have fun, I wouldn't do it myself. Why would I? That's
Sure.
crazy. Who wants to be bored?
Absolutely.
Not me.
Absolutely. So besides the side-by-side program, the WSO also offers another wonderful opportunity for musician and vocalist students. Now, Adam, tell us about what we call the Young Artist Competitions a little bit.
Well, now there is still time to participate in these opportunities. There are deadlines on March 4th. So full applications are available on our website, washsim.org. But the Young Artist Competition's been around for years. You have to be a Washington County resident, but it's an instrumental competition where they play instrumental solo with an accompanist in the audition. And then one is selected, and then, yes, there's a monetary prize, but the bigger prize is you get to perform that solo with the full WSO on stage at our May concert, which is very exciting. Now, a few years ago, we started to allow vocalists to enter the contest, and it's a little bit difficult to assess vocalists alongside instrumentalists. They're two very different skills. So we split the contest in two, and now we have the Young Artist Competition for the instrumentalists, and then the Young Vocalist Competition for the vocalists. So that's been working well, and
So that's still open.
absolutely
Any
through March
students
4th.
in the Washington County school districts can apply. They can go online, get an application. It can be a musician, instrumentalist, or it can be a vocalist.
And it
They're
can be
welcome.
basically a Washington County resident. If you
Okay,
go to an
good.
independent school outside
I'm sorry,
of
yes,
the-
that's
yeah.
true, right. So any homeschooled people, any independent school, you can still apply. It's a great opportunity to get out there to meet the people in the symphony and have the experience of being able to perform with an orchestra in front of a large audience. So Yugo, there is a judging for this, so tell us a little bit about the judging, who's involved and what the criteria might be.
Sure. We have musicians primarily are the judges, so I'll poll some of the musicians, look to the artistic committee first, and there'll be 5 or 6 of us there, and we hear all the auditions, and we have score sheets and write comments. And the score sheets help us to decide who the winner is, but the comments help the students considerably.
Sure.
Because if I'm a young musician, a young singer, and I see 2 or 3 people that have similar comments or constructive criticisms,
Sure.
I'll take it to heart and say, boy, I think I'm going to work on that. Because all of this is a learning process. We get better every time we do it. And the better we get, usually the more fun we have. So I'm all about
to the
learning.
fun.
And absolutely, back to the fun. That's right.
Good, good. So talk again, Adam. Let's do a little wrap up. Remind us of the changes for March, and tell us about what the concert dates again and the location. Explain again where that is.
Well, like I said before, we have 2 performances this time, both of which will be at the Olin Fine Arts Center on the Washington Jefferson College campus. Olin is found at 285 East Wheeling Street in Washington. There'll be plenty of parking. We're going to have signs and parking attendants and directing you to where to park. There's several surrounding lots, possibly a shuttle bus too, so we'll have lots of assistance with that. And the concerts will be on Saturday, March 5th at 8 p.m. That's the evening one, and then a Sunday matinee concert the next day at 3 p.m.
Good, that sounds good. Now, if someone already has tickets, because we have a number of season ticket holders or people who may have bought the season tickets, is there a mechanism for them to select a concert, or do they just show up at one
Well,
of them?
they can change their concert if they already bought. We already had the Sunday date in place, so anyone that had bought before will automatically get the Sunday date. And they've been instructed in various ways that if they wish to change that date, they can contact me. But absolutely, any tickets bought now, you can select your date. You can buy tickets online. You can also buy them right here in Peters Township at Peters Township Public Library and also at Citizens Library in Washington. And we'll have tickets at the door as well.
The easiest thing for tickets is to go online and buy them online. The other advantage to buying them online, if you happen to get a group together, you have a family, you have the mom, the dad, the kids, the grandparents, and you are going to buy 8 or more tickets, you get a discount. So buy those online, and if you bring an even bigger group, you get a bigger discount. So that's the easiest way to
And
do
you
that.
mentioned the family, Adam. Maybe you could talk about family members.
Well,
And ticket
one more thing
prices
about
for
the
young
group
folk.
tickets, you don't just have to buy them online to get the discount. You can also call our office number, email me, and I can process that order over the phone for you as well.
Right, but the other advantage for music students, is this where you were
That's
leading
where I
to?
was leading, and if I'm a father of 7 children, boy, that's a large bill, I'm thinking, but...
Yeah, 12 and under, they don't even have to be music students. All children 12 and under are now free. You just, you don't have to reserve those
Bring 'em
tickets.
on
You just
down.
pick them up at the will call table when you get there. There'll be student tickets available. But students 12 through 18 and also Cal U students and W&J students also can get student tickets from us for no charge.
Right, and the only thing we ask you when you come in, if you're being taught by a music teacher, is their name. We like to make connections. We like to give them information about the opportunities we talked about earlier with the side-by-side and the young artist competition, because these music teachers are nurturing you kids and your kids, and we want them to help us encourage them even more. So,
Well, and that's such an important part of our mission, is not just simply putting on a show and having people enjoy it and going home until the next concert, but we want to cultivate, we want to create those new music lovers. And if young people go to the concert and they think, well, geez, that was actually kind of fun, you start changing little by little. You put a little kernel of fun, going back to fun, into their thinking, and they're more open to learning about that. And then they become us 30 years from now. They become the
Let's
music
hope so.
lovers, and yeah, absolutely.
so before we get to wrap up, we do have another concert. There will be a concert in May. Yugo, tell us what the May concert's going to be.
Well, the May concert is going to be a giant birthday celebration.
Hooray.
So we'll be 20 years old,
Right.
and most businesses, if they can make it past 5 years, they've done something right. So we're there 20 years, and we're going to bring back some performers from the past. We're going to highlight some of the music that was most beloved over the last 20 years, and it is just going to be a giant celebration and a giant thank you to all of our patrons and people that made the WSO possible. And the Washington Symphony Orchestra is, in some small way, it makes Washington a little better, right? It's a gem of the county, and we're very fortunate to be a part of that, so we're going to celebrate that good fortune.
So that May concert will then be back again at the Washington County Pavilion, the fairgrounds.
Yes, the Washington County Fairgrounds and Exhibit Building Number 1, the largest building there. It is indoors, cement floored, has heat, all the amenities. It's a very nice facility. And there will be one performance of that concert, and that will be on Saturday, May 7th at 7:30 p.m.
That was a really nice venue. I think we were a little concerned, but it turned out to be a really good venue for the orchestra as well as the patrons. The audience seemed to be very comfortable there, so we're looking forward to that. So at a future program, we will talk a little bit more about the May concert, give you a little bit more details about that. But let me ask Yugo if you would again, this WSO Rocks concert, let's wrap up with some information about that, because you keep going back to the fun, and I think this is probably one of the funnest concerts we ever have done, the themes. You also go back to the idea that this brings in, younger people. It brings back people who remember rock, because rock's not new. Rock has been in place for a long time, so you can be an old rocker or a young rocker. So tell me what you're thinking about the excitement, and maybe we can play off with one of the
Well,
tunes
I
from
am
before.
very excited about this concert, and as we mentioned before, Adam Brock will be joining us. Marvelous, very soulful singer, a journeyman, a professional. He's going to shepherd a lot of that fun for WSO Rocks, and I'm so looking forward to working with him there. But one of the things we want to do, and with the clips that you've seen here earlier, is break the idea of what a symphony orchestra is or can be. It's not a stuffy setting where we sit on our hands and we're all very polite. We can rock out and bob our head and have fun.
Sure.
And hoot and holler and enjoy it. And it really is alive and well, and it's not a I don't want to mourn the concerts. I want to
Sure.
celebrate the concerts. So this one in a big way breaks the molds. We let our hair down, what little we have left, and we rock out.
That sounds good. And one of the things that we always like to say about the symphony is that it's your Washington Symphony. It's for the people. If you come to a concert, you're going to enjoy it. If you'd like to hear a concert about a certain theme or some music, we take suggestions. We've had different themes, and we welcome any and all suggestions. So I'd encourage you to look into getting some tickets, plan your weekend for the March concerts, either the evening or the Sunday performance. And we say that the WSO is something wonderful in Washington County because of the unique high caliber performances. And what do you say, Yugo? You say, if you come once,
You'll come again.
you'll come again. So if you would like to hear some wonderful music, please think about coming to the Symphony Orchestra. We're going to play off with Moody Blues.
A little Moody Blues.
Moody
So
Blues.
those of you that are older rockers and you remember the music of the 1970s, you'll enjoy.
Come and see us then. Thank you.